Right now, beneath the sand of the ocean floor, something is hunting you cannot see. Not with eyes, not with sound. Something is sensing your heartbeat through the darkness and the sediment. It's moving toward you. It knows exactly where you are, and you have no way of knowing it's there. This is not a shark. This is not a giant squid. This is the stingray, and what it can do is beyond anything you've ever imagined. Most people think stingrays are harmless bottom feeders sliding across the ocean floor eating trash. But they're not. They're among the most intelligent predators in the ocean. And their intelligence isn't about size or strength. It's about something far more sophisticated. Invisible sensors that create a complete map of the world around them. In this video, we're going to reveal how stingrays hunt creatures they've never seen, using abilities that science is still trying to understand. But here's what scientists only recently discovered. Stingrays can sense things humans can't even measure without technology. Let's start with the basics. A stingray is a ray, a flatfish related to sharks. Most stingrays are small, between 1 to 2 meters long, but there are species that grow up to 7 meters across. They have a body shaped like a flying carpet, with a long tail that carries the famous barb. For centuries, humans feared the barb. We thought it was a weapon stingrays used to attack. But that's not the truth. The barb is purely defensive. Stingrays only use it when they feel threatened, when someone steps on them or tries to capture them. The real weapon of a stingray is not its tail, it's not its mouth, it's not its speed. The real weapon is something invisible. It's something we're only now beginning to understand. And it's called electroreception. Stingrays evolved for one purpose: to be perfect bottom hunters. Over 200 million years, they've adapted to life on the ocean floor. Their body is completely flat, so flat that it's almost invisible when they rest on the sand. Their eyes have moved to the top of their head, looking up. Their mouth has moved to the bottom, looking down into the sediment. Every single part of their body has been optimized for one job: finding and eating creatures that live buried in the mud. They hunt in depths from shallow reefs down to the abyssal zone, over 1,000 meters below the surface where light doesn't reach. In these depths, vision is useless. Hearing is confused by the pressure and movement of water. Only one sense matters: electroreception, and stingrays have mastered it in ways that still surprise marine biologists. All living creatures generate electrical fields. When a fish's muscles contract, they produce tiny electrical currents. When a fish's heart beats, it sends electrical pulses through the water. These electrical signals are incredibly faint. We're talking about millionths of a volt. But a stingray can sense them. How? Through specialized sensory organs called ampullae of Lorenzini. These are small pores scattered across the stingray's head and body. Each pore connects to a sensory canal filled with a conductive jelly. Inside these canals are specialized cells called receptor cells. When an electrical field passes through the water, it stimulates these receptor cells. The stingray's brain then interprets these signals as a map. It's not seeing the fish, it's not hearing the fish, it's feeling the electrical presence of the fish. And it's so sensitive that a stingray can detect electrical fields as weak as 5 nanovolts per centimeter. That's 1/1000th of a volt. To put this in perspective, if the entire Atlantic Ocean was a vast electrical circuit, a stingray could detect a single battery placed at the other side. This is not evolution. This is sorcery. So, how does a stingray use this ability to hunt? A stingray glides across the ocean floor, its electrical sensors constantly scanning for signals. When it detects an electrical field, it doesn't immediately attack. Instead, it positions itself above the source. It starts creating wave-like movements with its body. These movements lift sediment and create disturbances. Why? Because when sediment moves, it changes the electrical field around the buried prey. The stingray can feel these micro changes. It's like an underwater version of echolocation, but instead of sound waves, it's using electrical signals. Once the stingray has pinpointed the exact location, it lifts its body slightly off the sand and strikes downward. Its mouth, which is perfectly positioned on the underside of its body, suctions the prey out of the sand and into its stomach. All of this happens in less than a second. The prey never had a chance. It was invisible, buried, protected by sand and darkness. But to a stingray, it was broadcasting its location with every heartbeat. This hunting technique reveals something profound about stingray intelligence. It's not random. It's not instinctive in the way we traditionally think about instinct. Stingrays are actively problem-solving. They're reading environmental data in real time. They're adapting their strategy based on the prey's behavior. Young stingrays don't hunt perfectly from birth. They learn, they make mistakes, they get better. This is not something that simple biological reflexes can explain. This is intelligent predation, and it happens every single day on the ocean floor in ways we're only now beginning to photograph and understand. Stingrays don't just randomly wander the ocean floor, they have hunting patterns. Marine biologists have observed that stingrays scan the seafloor in a systematic way. They move in controlled patterns, creating a grid-like search. Some species are known to dig into the sand, searching for burrowed prey. Others create circular depressions and wait inside them for prey to approach. This behavior suggests planning. It suggests that stingrays know where prey is likely to be found and adjust their hunting accordingly. Scientists have documented stingrays returning to the same hunting grounds repeatedly, grounds where they know prey thrives. They've observed stingrays cleaning their sensory organs, removing debris and sediment so their electroreceptors work optimally. They've witnessed stingrays learning from unsuccessful hunts and changing their approach. A stingray that failed to capture prey using one technique will try a different technique the next time. This is not programming. This is learning. Perhaps the most compelling evidence of stingray intelligence is their ability to learn and remember. In laboratory studies, stingrays have demonstrated the ability to recognize individual human caretakers. They remember feeding schedules. They return to specific locations in their aquarium at feeding time. Some stingrays have learned to ring a bell to request food. These are not the actions of simple animals operating on pure instinct. These are the actions of intelligent creatures with memory, foresight, and the ability to communicate their needs. In the wild, this translates to something remarkable. Stingrays maintain territories. They remember where they've hunted successfully. They learn seasonal patterns of prey availability. They know which hunting grounds are dangerous and which are safe. A mature stingray carries decades of accumulated knowledge about its environment. It's this knowledge that makes a stingray a master hunter. But here's what makes stingray intelligence truly unique. They're not just intelligent. They're intelligent in ways that are completely different from any other ocean predator. We've been focusing on electroreception, but a stingray doesn't hunt with just one sense. It uses a multi-sensory approach that's almost overwhelming in its sophistication. First, there's vision. Despite being bottom feeders, stingrays have eyes that work surprisingly well. They have excellent night vision. They can see in color. They adjust to changing light conditions. But vision is just the beginning. Next, there's the lateral line system, a sensory system found in all fish that detects vibrations and pressure changes in water. A stingray's lateral line is incredibly sensitive. It can detect the vibrations of prey movement from several meters away. When a small fish twitches in the sand, a stingray feels it. Then there's olfaction, smell. Stingrays have powerful chemical sensors that allow them to detect the scent of prey from considerable distances. They follow scent trails like underwater bloodhounds. When these senses combine, when vision, electroreception, lateral line detection, and olfaction all feed data simultaneously to the stingray's brain, the result is a predator with unprecedented awareness of its environment. What's truly remarkable is how stingrays integrate this sensory information. Their brain, which is smaller than a human brain but highly specialized, processes multiple streams of sensory data simultaneously. A stingray isn't just sensing one thing at a time. It's sensing everything at once. It's building a complete three-dimensional model of its environment in real time. Scientists call this sensory fusion. It's something humans can barely do, even with technology. And stingrays do it naturally. A stingray might first detect prey through electroreception, feeling the electrical signature of a heartbeat. Simultaneously, it's seeing the location, smelling the scent chemicals, and detecting vibrations through its lateral line. Its brain instantly synthesizes all this information and knows exactly where the prey is, how fresh it is, whether it's worth hunting, and what approach angle offers the best chance of success. This happens in milliseconds. It happens automatically. It's the definition of intelligent predation, and it's been refined over 200 million years of evolution. How does this compare to other ocean predators? A great white shark has a powerful sense of smell and can detect blood from kilometers away. But a shark is limited by its sensory system. It smells something, it swims toward it. If the source doesn't move or make noise, the shark becomes confused. A stingray doesn't have this limitation. A stingray can sense invisible prey. A stingray can hunt in complete darkness and in sediment where even its prey thinks it's hidden. A dolphin is known for its intelligence and its sophisticated echolocation. But a dolphin's echolocation works best in open water. Put a dolphin in a murky bay with limited visibility, and its performance degrades. A stingray in the same environment is at peak efficiency. The stingray's sensory system is specifically engineered for hunting in the exact conditions where it lives. And in those conditions, it's arguably more effective than any other predator on Earth. There's a concept in marine biology called embodied cognition. It's the idea that intelligence isn't just located in the brain, it's distributed throughout the body. A stingray's sensory organs aren't just passive receivers, they're processing information. A stingray's fins aren't just movement tools, they're communication tools. A stingray's skin isn't just protection, it's a sensory organ. When we talk about stingray intelligence, we're not just talking about what's happening in the brain. We're talking about the entire organism working as an integrated system. Some researchers argue that stingrays are more intelligent than we give them credit for because we're measuring intelligence by the wrong metrics. We measure it by brain-to-body size ratio, by social complexity, by tool use. But what if intelligence is better measured by sensory sophistication, by the ability to extract information from the environment, by the efficiency of predation, by the capacity to learn? By all these metrics, stingrays are off the charts. A stingray might not be able to solve a Rubik's Cube, but a stingray can do something far more impressive. It can hunt an invisible creature in absolute darkness using sensory organs that science is still trying to fully understand. If that's not intelligence, what is? Despite all we know, stingrays remain one of the ocean's great mysteries. Scientists are only now beginning to study them in detail. New species are discovered regularly. New behavioral observations emerge constantly. There are stingray species that live in freshwater rivers in South America. There are stingray species that live in freezing Antarctic waters. There are stingray species that migrate thousands of kilometers every year. Each species has its own adaptations, its own behaviors, its own intelligence. We're probably decades away from fully understanding how stingrays think and learn and communicate. But what we know right now is revolutionary. Stingrays are not bottom feeders. They're apex predators. They're not simple. They're sophisticated. They're not forgotten creatures. They're among the most remarkable hunters that evolution has ever created. And the more we study them, the more we realize how much we've underestimated them. In the next 20 years, I predict we'll discover that stingray intelligence rivals that of dolphins in some respects. We'll find that they have forms of communication we haven't yet discovered. We'll learn that their sensory abilities extend beyond electroreception in ways that astound us. Comment: What other ocean creature do you think is more intelligent than we give it credit for? Stingrays represent something important. They represent the idea that intelligence and sophistication are everywhere in nature, not just in the creatures that look smart to us. A stingray might not look intelligent. It might look like a simple creature. But underneath that appearance is millions of years of evolutionary refinement. Underneath that appearance is a sensory system so sophisticated that human technology is only now catching up to it. Underneath that appearance is an intelligent predator that has learned, adapted, and thrived through every challenge the ocean has thrown at it. Stingrays teach us to look deeper, to respect what we don't understand, to marvel at the complexity of nature. They teach us that intelligence comes in many forms, and that the ocean is full of forms we haven't even begun to appreciate. The next time you see a stingray or hear about one, I hope you'll remember this. That creature sliding across the ocean floor isn't simple. It's not stupid. It's not defenseless. It's not just another fish. It's one of the ocean's most remarkable predators. It's a master of its environment. It's intelligent, and it deserves your respect. If this video expanded your understanding of ocean intelligence, subscribe to the channel right now. Turn on notifications. Like this video. Share it with someone who needs to see it. Because the ocean is full of stories like this, stories of intelligence, adaptation, and remarkable evolution, and we're just beginning to tell them. Thank you for watching. Keep exploring. See you at the next dive.